I am Megan Gilger of the Fresh Exchange, and I'm going to show you the fastest way possible to cook your whole chicken in the Instant Pot. On the Fresh Exchange, everything we do is all about the garden to the kitchen. Today we're going to talk about this whole chicken, and what I love about whole chicken is that it's the greatest complement to any meal that you could possibly get. Also, it is very easy to source them locally or from small farms in your area. I think that having a whole chicken is one of the best ways to be very resourceful and respectful of animals if you can understand how to use it properly. And I have found that using the Instant Pot is not only the fastest way, but also the best way to make sure that you are using every bit of it from beginning to end. So let's go through how to cook it from either thawed or frozen. You can do either, it doesn't matter. So first of all, you're gonna wanna have a few things. You're gonna wanna have your Instant Pot. I have an Instant Pot Duo Evo Plus, which offers a lot of options. It's a little more on the expensive side when it comes to Instant Pots, but what I love about it is that it does have a slow cooking feature, so you can actually eliminate having a slow cooker in your kitchen, so it minimizes the amount of appliances you have. It also has a sous vide option, yogurt option, and a few other things that I think are really, really helpful in the kitchen. And so this thing can become a huge part of how you cook every day. So it's one of two appliances I would say are definitely necessary in your kitchen. And I was not somebody who would say that before, so I have been sold. To begin, you're gonna make sure that you have your Instant Pot ready, your pot clean. You can even have your pot out if you would like. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna take some avocado oil, or you could use butter, any high heat fat that you have, and you're gonna just put in enough to really coat the bottom. If you're using butter, I would say it would be about a tablespoon, 2 doesn't hurt. And what you wanna do is you just wanna get it nice and ready, because what you're gonna do is you're gonna brown your chicken with a saute mode. And it sounds really challenging, but it's not. And it's very simple. So you're just gonna turn it on and push it in, make sure that everything's right. So it's just gonna do 4 minutes, because we're just gonna do it really quick. And then on high, and you hit start. So now it's gonna get going. Do not be freaked out when it beeps. So what we wanna do is we wanna get this whole chicken in there. If some whole chickens are gonna have giblets in them, this one does not. If you do, just make sure that you have them out before you do this. So we're gonna stick the chicken in there. Most Instant Pots, this one's a 6 pound, or 6 quart, and the chicken is 3.5 pounds. We can easily fit this in here. If you like to do larger chickens, I would suggest having an 8 quart. But a 6 quart is pretty good for most 4-person families. And I really love the size of this one. We haven't had any problems with it, and we have a family of 4. So I highly suggest it. So now we just kind of wait. You're gonna start hearing it simmer, and it's going. And what you wanna do here is just, you're just gonna brown it a little bit, and what you're doing is you're putting the you're sealing it off so the moisture all stays inside of the chicken, so that you're not like getting this dry chicken, not that you really would. So let me go through a few things while this starts cooking. First of all, you're gonna wanna have your trivet ready. So this comes with your Instant Pot, and what this offers is, one, it keeps the chicken off the very, very bottom, so as you're cooking it, it's not going to get stuck. It's gonna be easy to lift out, because it can be kind of falling apart sometimes when it comes out. It's not exactly super pretty. So you're gonna wanna be able to lift it out easily. Obviously, you're not gonna wanna use your bare hands. You would want to use oven mitts with this. And then also, you're going to want some chicken broth. This is about 2 cups. This is from a previous whole chicken. And you're gonna want to use that and have that available to you. Have some garlic cloves, and then various spices. I'm not gonna use all of these, but some really good options are smoked paprika, some ground mustard, sage, herbs de Provence, or rosemary. And any of these are gonna be really good, either combined or separate. Whatever sounds good to you, any of them are great. So it really is just a matter of how you're gonna be eating the chicken and what you're actually going to be doing with it. So just something to think about. And obviously you're going to want some salt as well, because you're gonna salt your chicken and after it's browned here. So I put the, I think it was the breast. So I'm gonna lift it up. It can be kind of a trick, but so now it's just getting nice and browned up, and now that I flipped it over and it has some oil on it, I'm gonna sprinkle some salt on it. And then I'm gonna do smoked paprika. And some sage. But you can obviously do anything you want. There's no right way or wrong way here. It's really what you have on hand. I don't suggest using fresh herbs. I only suggest using dried ones because they're gonna be cooked pretty heavily, and the dried ones will hold up in the Instant Pot a little better than the fresh ones will. So at least that's what I found. So this is almost done. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna cancel the saute mode. And I'm gonna grab a plate really quick. Okay. So now that this is pretty much good, I'm gonna flip it over in here. See if I can get it off. Like I said, it can kind of be a trick. A good set of tongs will do it though. So now I'm just gonna flip it over for a second. Spice it up. Some more salt. Some paprika. Oh, and sage, that's what I use. Okay, so now that's on there. I'm gonna lift it out just for a second. This is why it's not very pretty, I think, when it... And you're gonna take it out just for a second, put it on a plate, and then you're gonna wanna set your trivet with your feet side down into the Instant Pot. Make sure that the arms are resting against the sides. And then you're gonna take your broth. This is 2 cups of broth. Every ball jar that's about this size, I forget the ounces on this, it's roughly 2 cups. So there is fat and it's separated some, but that's totally fine. And then I'm gonna put these 3 cloves of garlic in there. And then I'm gonna transfer the chicken back in here. And you can do it either way. I've done it multiple different ways, but breast side up is usually pretty good. The cooking happens all around it, so I've never really had a problem with it not being fully cooked. So now that it is all in there, what you're gonna do is you're going to put the top on, lock it up. You wanna make sure that the seal is set, so it should say seal up here. Everyone's different, so just make sure that you look up yours and how to do that. And what we're gonna do is we're going to hit pressure cook. And then we're going to, I just keep it on custom. If it's fully thawed, it is 6 minutes per pound or 13 minutes per pound if it is frozen. So that is the math equation you want to use. So now that I know that, that's roughly like 28 minutes, but I'm gonna just put it to 30. The thing is you're not gonna be able to really overcook this. And I always like to lean on the more like generous side of the amount of time. So I'm gonna put in 30 minutes on here, and then I'm just gonna hit start. I'm gonna let it keep warm, and now it's gonna start. So it will come up for, it takes about 5 to 10 minutes, depending on how long I'm gonna be cooking it. I've kind of roughly seen that it's 5 to 10 minutes. And then you're gonna let it cook for that 30 minutes, and then you want it to naturally release, which some Instant Pots, this one it's about 5 minutes where it will naturally release. It's sometimes 10 depending how pressurized or long it's been cooking. And then you're gonna want to just let it go. So it's going to beep the moment that it is done. Do not open it, ignore it. It's telling you that it is done, but it makes you think that it needs attention. Instead, it is finished, but now it's naturally releasing. You can do quick release if you would like. It should be done at that point. And all you have to do is make sure you have an oven mitt on, and you hit the seal thing, and you just push it down. And then once, it won't really let you open it until it is fully unpressurized. So it'd be very hard to open. So some people are very freaked out by this, but do not worry. So now we will just wait for this to be ready, and I'll prep everything else for the dinner. Okay, now our Instant Pot has fully cooked the chicken. It is cooked for 30 minutes, and we now are in the warming period, which is 10 minutes. So it should be pretty much done releasing and lowering the pressure. It's just keeping it warm now. It's now kept it warm for 10 minutes. That lets you know that the natural release is getting close. So I am going to release it, and because I don't know how much pressure is still in there, I am gonna use an oven mitt, and you're going to stand back because the air is going to escape from here if there is any. There's a little bit, so we're just gonna release the rest of that pressure. This is very hot, so you wanna make sure that it is not gonna get to you. And once it has fully released, there's no more air coming out, you then should be good to open it up. And you can see the chicken is cooked, and we can set down the top. Do not touch it because it can be very hot. The metal is all hot. And now we want to use a meat thermometer to make sure that our chicken is fully cooked. So we wait for it to turn on and check. There you go, it's that easy. If you liked this video, like and subscribe. We have more wonderful garden to kitchen content in the future.